Wish I was fishing.
All right, you've got 7:04 and you are live.
All right, let's rock and roll. Welcome everyone to the City of Oneonta Housing Commission meeting for February 2nd, 2022, the Groundhog Day edition.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining. We have a new commissioner tonight, Miss Rachel Lutz Jessup. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Rachel.
Let's do the call to order. Or sorry, the roll call. No, sorry, just kidding. You have to select the chair, vice chair. Is that right? Carrie?
You were correct the first time. Apparently it got out of order on the agenda. So yes, call to order and then roll call. You are correct.
Okay, let's do the roll call, please.
Chair Lappin, Vice Chair Shu,
Here.
Commissioner Beckenstein,
Here.
Commissioner Fox,
Here.
Commissioner Friedman, Commissioner May,
Here.
Commissioner Lutz Jessup,
Here.
Councilmember Harrington.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay. So, selection of chair, vice chair. Are there any nominations for chair?
Am I allowed to nominate as a new person?
You are.
Well, I was thinking about Ed May, but I don't know if that's something he's interested in though. So,
Commissioner Jessup, is that a motion?
yes.
Do we have a second?
But is Commissioner May interested?
Sure, I would be willing to help to do it.
Before we go any further, can I ask, is it just for this meeting that we're doing this?
Oh, but it's for the calendar year 2022.
Okay, so,
Okay.
okay.
So I hope I'm not putting words in his mouth, but Danny did say he was still interested, but if anybody wanted to be chair, that would be fine with him also.
I would make a motion that Danny Lappin be reappointed chair.
I have an existing motion on the floor.
Oh,
It
okay.
needs to either be withdrawn or acted upon.
Is there such a thing as a co-chair?
If that's the structure that the commission wishes to take, absolutely. You could move to a co-chair system.
What's everybody thinking?
My thought is that just got his feet under him because we started late in 21 to let him continue throughout 2022. That's my thought. But a co-chair setup is okay too.
Carrie, could you describe that structure?
It would just simply replace the chair, vice chair instead of,
So you'd have two co-chairs.
they would share
Okay.
together.
So we still have an open motion?
Correct.
Yes.
can the motion be withdrawn and a new motion made, have a co-chair, Danny, Ed?
Certainly. You would withdraw that motion. You would make a second motion indicating that you wish to move to a co-chair. And then your third motion could be the appointment of those two persons.
So I would be the one to withdraw it.
Correct.
Since
It's
I-
your motion.
okay. And then how does Ed feel? I know Danny's not here. How does Ed feel about co-chairing? Ed?
It makes no difference to me. Whatever I can do to help, I'm willing to do.
Okay, then I could withdraw that, and can I present a co-chair situation?
Absolutely. Motion 1 is withdrawn. You now have a motion on the table for co-chair structure. Do you have a second?
Second.
Is that Joan? Sorry.
Nope,
That's
Audrey.
Audrey, thank you. All right, Jared, you've got a first and a second on the floor.
Okay. Let's call a vote. Oh, sorry, any further discussion? Okay, let's call a vote.
Vice Chair Shu,
Aye.
Commissioner Benkenstein,
Aye.
Commissioner Fox,
Aye.
Commissioner May,
Aye.
Commissioner Letts Jessup.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right.
So
Thank
now
you.
we need a motion naming the people, right?
Correct.
Make a motion naming Lappin and as co-chairs.
Okay, you have a first. Is there a second?
I second.
Vice Chair, you have a first and a second.
Okay, any further discussion? Let's call a vote.
Chair Lappin. Correction. Vice Chair Shu,
Aye.
Commissioner Benkenstein,
Aye.
Commissioner Fox,
Aye.
Commissioner May,
Aye.
Commissioner Letts Jessup.
Aye.
Passes.
All right, excellent. Okay. Correspondence, any correspondence?
No correspondence other than the email that you would have received from the City Attorney David Merzick expressing his regrets that he's unable to attend tonight.
Okay, thanks. All right. Approval of minutes. Did everybody have a chance to take a look at the January 5th, 2022 minutes?
Yes.
Any comments? Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Commissioner Fox? Second,
Second.
Commissioner Benkenstein? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All right, thank you. All right. Next item is the housing studies spreadsheet. Thanks to Chair Lappin for writing that summary. Looks like he put a lot of time into it, thanks to the other fellow commissioners that attended the meetings and city staff. Everybody have a chance to take a look at that summary?
Yes.
Any comments, questions, revisions?
What's that, Jared? To the summary?
To the summary. So,
No. More observations than anything else. It seems like there were a lot of things put forward and very few things acted on.
yeah, I agree. So, what was that? 7 out of 50? Is that right? 7 completed out of 50? I did see that Chair Lappin sent it on to council as a draft. I don't know if he received any comments or if anybody else received any comments from council. Carrie, just for my own knowledge, was that something that we needed to vote on to send to council as a draft?
Not really. It's a communication to the council from the commission. I believe
Okay.
at the previous meeting, it had been indicated that it would be shared with them as it progressed, so.
Okay. Okay, I don't think we need to take any action on that. Does anybody have anything else to add? Okay. I did see some kind of sweeping statements, some general statements that I'm sure we will discuss in detail as things move forward. But I think we could move on to the next item, which is the fair housing plan. So I know city attorney took a look at what Commissioner Benkenstein and Commissioner Fox sent to him, which I think was that a summary or a scope and general purpose of the fair housing plan.
Right, because this meeting, there was discussion about making sure the city attorney was open with the direction in which we thought we'd go with a fair housing plan.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. Did you? say
Sorry.
anything?
Add connection. At a previous meeting, I think it was the December meeting, discussion amongst the commissioners that they wanted to ensure the city attorney was okay with the direction we thought go with a fair housing plan. So we put a summary of what we thought a plan should look like and encompass and sent it to him.
Okay, and in his email, I don't know if everybody received, yeah, it looks like everybody received this. Dave Merzig said, I'm fine with the proposed outline of activities and your action plan. If there are any new or follow-up issues that arise, please let me know and I'll address them again. Okay. Everybody get a chance to review that summary?
Yes.
Any additional comments?
I don't right now, only because I'm trying to get a grasp of everything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, I may later, but not right now.
I thought Commissioner Beckenstein did a really good job. It was reviewed with me and with Judy Pangman. And I think it's a really, it's a good outline and it'll put us in compliance with state and federal requirements, and it'll work. We'll be able to move forward with it.
So the next step would be to start drafting the actual plan. Is that right?
Right,
Correct.
Right, okay.
yes.
You have a timeline for that?
We might need Judy to weigh in on this if there's specific deadlines that she needs to meet in order to be in compliance with of her grants.
No, we just need to keep working on it. I would think it's gonna take us a couple of months to pull it together and have a good solid draft to come back to the commission with.
Okay.
And then it would need to go to council after that.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the update. Thanks for working on that. Okay. Okay, that covers the old business as far as I'm aware. New business? Am I missing anything with old business? No, okay, new business. Let's see, Chair Lappin mentioned presentation in March, a group of residents working with the state requested a 30-minute time slot at the next meeting to give a presentation on the New York State Refugee Resettlement Program. That's about all I know about it. Anybody know anything else?
No.
I know a little bit about it. The group of people is working with a consultant who works with the center up in Utica. So they've already actually had successful refugee resettlement. And they think in order to put together a plan for the city of Oneonta, if we decide we want that, one of the crucial blocks in that is figuring out housing for refugees who would be coming here. And that would be in a phased type of program. And so they want to introduce what they've done up in Utica and talk about the challenges and the successes and introduce you to some of their staff people and maybe even some of the refugees that have resettled in Utica and the pros and the cons. So from what I understand, we're still in an exploratory phase. No, nothing's been decided. But I think housing is key. If we can't come up with some housing solutions for people that might be coming here, it would kind of stop the program in its track.
So Joan, would the housing solution involve creating or building new housing, or I just a little more info, I guess.
I think we're at the absolute beginning. Nobody
Okay.
has suggested anything. I think the preference would be to work with existing housing stock and existing landlords and property owners. But if that's not possible, nothing's been decided, nothing's been put on paper, we're in the brainstorming phase.
So it sounds like it would be beneficial, at least to me, to have these people come to our next meeting so we can get some information.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they want to gauge whether we're a community that wants to have this type of program.
Right. And we can't make a decision without info. So,
Correct.
right.
So are you working with them, Commissioner?
I was asked to serve on their housing committee, and I was just kind of looped into a meeting in January. I didn't really know anything about them or it or who's involved. And I said, well, I'm on the housing commission, so I can make the introduction to Chairman Lappin, who I did that. And that's as far as I've been involved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any further discussion? So I think in his email, he said a group of residents I'm assuming that's Oneonta residents, right? Group of residents who've been working in this state.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on that?
Do we have to make a motion to have them come to our next meeting?
No,
Or is it still in the question stage?
even if it's in the question stage, an invitation to attend the meeting doesn't require a motion or action
Okay.
by the board or commission.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. Second, under new business, I think we obviously have a new commissioner. We had discussed having a representative from the Oneonta Housing Authority
Mhm.
attend. I haven't heard anything further on that.
There was a meeting between Chairman Lappin and Kurt Schulte, who is the executive director of the Oneonta Housing Authority. And Kurt has agreed to participate in whatever way the mayor and the Housing Commission thinks he can contribute.
Okay. All right.
So should he be then invited to the next meeting if we're going to listen to refugee resettlement program? Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Let's see. Any other new business?
I have something in the meeting that I was at with the Refugee Resettlement Housing Committee. One of the questions they had for the committee was, is there a Oneonta Landlords Association? And to my knowledge, there is not. And it's something that maybe the Housing Commission could help facilitate. I think it would be a good idea. So I'm bringing that idea to the commission. Is that something that we would want to help facilitate? Creating a Oneonta Landlords Association.
I mean, it makes sense, but I would want to know the dynamics of how it works, I guess. Because I wouldn't be familiar with that, I'm sorry.
Is, Joan, do you know if there's a landlords association in any other city and how that might work? Like invite somebody to talk to us, how it got started, who was involved, that kind of thing?
I haven't done any research. I'm happy to do that. I know that in other cities, there are landlords associations. My thinking about that is that we have a whole array of landlords in the city of Oneonta. There are people that own college rentals, businesses that own college rentals. There are sole owners of properties that rent to people. And there's a growing segment of landlords that rent their properties to Airbnb and VRBO clients and customers. So it would be a very broad range of people and perspectives. And I think it would be a wonderful idea. There's also commercial property owners that rent to businesses. So if people are interested, I don't want to be the organizer, but I'll do a little bit of research about other cities that have landlord associations and how they function.
That'd be helpful, I think.
So the 10
Yeah.
largest residential landlords, holders in the city are all college rentals. They're all student rentals. Like the 10 biggest residential property owners in the city are all student landlords.
But they're also, I mean, they're definitely part of the landlords, but they're not the only landlords. So,
No, I know. I'm just letting you guys know the data.
Oh,
I mean, the 10 largest residential land owners in the city are all student rental companies.
okay.
So I wonder if Ithaca might be to us. They're also a small, in a college, environment. I would imagine also have landlords who own several properties only rented to college students.
You know, another big property owner that does a lot of rentals is the Oneonta Housing Authority. They
True.
have a lot of units that they manage. So. I think it's an interesting concept. I'm happy to do a little research and report back to the commission. And then we can decide whether we want to help facilitate the organization of it.
I think it's a good idea.
I do too.
Ed, do you have any thoughts about it?
No, I mean, we can certainly try to get them together. The last time that anything came close to that's when Hillside Commons was being proposed and built, and most of them were complaining about it.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
I remember
On a
that.
side
yeah.
note,
I remember that too.
on a side note, Mark is working on this exact same thing, so you might want to talk to Mark Drenick.
Okay. Thank you, Stephen.
Okay, thanks, Commissioner Fox. Any other new business?
Could I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Know that at one of the last meetings, there's a lot of talk about setting priorities for the commission, and I think that's something that really needs to move forward. And then some of these other things will fall into place once those priorities are set. There's just so much. There's so many issues.
True.
Yeah, agreed. That I was gonna mention that under next steps to take, but yeah, I agree. Anything else? I think it would be beneficial to get a developer or to reach out to a developer and get their side of the story. I'm thinking of somebody in particular who has a success story in Oneonta developing housing. That's Chip Klugo. I know he's had success working with the city, working with Judy specifically. I'd like to get his thoughts on the challenges that he faced and understand how we can have more successful developers develop market rate housing in Oneonta. Yeah, Judy.
That's a great idea. That we've actually talked about that. The city staff has talked about that as we've been talking about our projects and upcoming work. With the new economic development committee, I think that having Chip do a presentation to the combined commissioners of this group and our new economic development committee makes a lot of sense. If you guys are interested in it from the housing point of view, but I think the economic development committee should hear his message as well. And because there's a bit of there's a bit of a misconception, I think, of what the city's role can be in developing projects. And Chip Klugo has been very successful because he has, first of all, he's got the experience in putting together projects and developing the projects and finding the financing and the funding. And the city becomes like a team member, but we are not the developer of the project. And he surrounds himself with a very knowledgeable team of consultants and architects, engineers, whatever he needs, construction team, the whole 9 yards. And that's what I think this commission and our economic development committee needs to understand, but also many local developers need to hear that message as well, because if they want to be successful as developers, they have to be the ones taking the lead on these projects and having organizations like the city and other funding agencies and stuff as team members. But they're the ones really with the momentum to get the projects through. And we do everything we can to help them get that through. And I think that'll be a message you hear from Chip. He may have negative things to say about some of the funding programs because they can be very difficult to get through with the state. But I think overall he'll have a pretty good record with the city. And, we've helped him actually get these projects through. So anyway, if you do invite him, I'd love to see that be a combined presentation for both groups.
Okay, yeah, if this commission is okay with me reaching out and coordinating with the economic development committee, I will do that.
I think that's a good idea.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Am I missing anything? Okay. So moving forward, I guess first item, we'll have to review and finalize the housing studies summary and begin to formulate recommendations on the draft, draft conceptual level for discussion. Item 2 would be continue working on the fair housing plan for review by the commission and city attorney. Item 3 would be Commissioner Fox. He volunteered to research landlord associations and report back. Item number 4, I'll reach out to Chip Klugo and the Economic Development Committee to set up a presentation.
Does anyone have to issue a formal motion to the refugee settlement program to have them present? Or they already plan on presenting in March?
I think Commissioner Lutz Jessup asked that question, and they're presenting next month, right? It doesn't need a motion. Is that right?
No, saying on your list of action items, does someone need to actually invite them?
I can verify with Commissioner Fox. You might know the answer to that, but I can verify with Danny.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that Danny would be the person to make the invitation. So I think we should ask him to do that.
Okay. I'm sure he'll watch this, so he'll get the note. All right. Any further discussion? Okay, this might be a record time. Your motion to adjourn?
So
I
moved.
move. I'll second.
Okay, that was made by Chair May, second by Commissioner Fox. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
All right.
Hey,
Thanks, everybody.
Steve, how's the tux fit?